art right now. I'm using a different device to suspend the camera. It's kind of like a little arm, and I have it clamped to the my chair that I'm sitting on, so I'm kind of like strapped in. This is like a Star Trek device. I really feel like I'm in like a Star Trek thing. So I'm gonna turn the camera down. Hopefully the wind isn't too intrusive. So I can flip the camera around just like that. Easy. And I have a new watercolor journal that we're going to just open up here. I also have a light back in here. When the light gets too dim, I'll turn my camera light on. But this here's in my lap. Welcome, welcome, Chloe. Welcome, yeah. Just working on some outdoor art. Today, I think it's July 22nd. It is 9 p.m. in the coastal mountains of Oregon. 9 p.m. in the coastal mountains of Oregon. That's where we're at. And I'm just trying new things. I'm hoping that this device, I'm hoping that this device I have will work better than a tripod. Because that tripod I have is pretty flimsy. And I needed kind of a different, it's kind of got a clamp on it and an arm. I could probably hook a microphone up to it. Then with the lights, I think I'll turn the light on over here. There we go. Get the light on. So we're just kind of working on the background here, giving this little birdie here another coat of power. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you. It is I did this, I think last week I started it, and we're just going to give it a little finish. Little bird on the, thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. Just trying to just do something here, and it's just about practice. That's all this is. This is a practice thing. With a little practice, anybody can get good at painting and so forth. Don't get off the line. Yeah, well, here we're going to put in some other colors into the fur or the feathers here. Maybe a little bit more water here. Thank you. We're just trying here. I am new to watercolor, and I just picked up watercolor in January. But I'm not new to painting. Just new to watercolor. Trying to figure things out. Oh, you know, it's Jimmy. It's all about working at it. Talent doesn't mean anything if you don't work it. So you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't practice, it doesn't mean nothing. Yesterday I did a 3.5 hour long live stream. That was really exhausting for painting. 3.5 hour painting live stream. This one's just gonna, it's not gonna be that long. Welcome, Mama Sushi. That was just saying that 3.5 hour long live stream I did last night. Really just, that was brutal actually. I don't know how. That was like, that's hard, you know, because when I did the 3+ hour live stream on Tools of Fortune, I didn't work nearly as hard as I did in doing the painting. Yeah, we're just trying out a new tool. I'm kind of strapped in here like this as a. Well, no, I should have, but I was just a challenge for me. I did it as a. I left when I did, but you know, it's painting is far more taxing than is. I think I want to put some ultramarine, maybe this Prussian blue over here into this thing. A little bit of blue. And I'll put a different color in here. I should have, but you know. A lot of it, Mama Sushi, is all about the challenge of it. The challenge of it. Now tomorrow, I'm going to Salem. Mom has a dental appointment, but the place where she has her dental appointment at, the whole parking lot is wired for Wi-Fi. So I'm gonna, while she's in her appointment, I'm gonna do a live stream because I'm gonna bring the dog with me, even though it's hot. But I'm not gonna leave the dog. You know, the dog ain't gonna be in the car by herself. So hopefully, so I should be able to do a parking lot live stream. I'm gonna put some of this red in the. It's got some red feathers in it too. Mm-hmm. There's some different colorations. It's kind of straggly. Kind of looking forward to that. So you have one on Thursday, yeah. Yeah, mom's over. Mom's dentist is with Kaiser Permanente, Salem, and I use this Yam Hill Community Care. My dentist is in McMinnville, and yeah, it took me like 3 years to get my dental in at the same place that I do my doctor. And I was like on well, let's see. Yeah, no, I put myself on a waiting list in 2021, and just like a year ago is when I got into that dentist in McMinnville. But yeah. Hmm. So when I make my coffee in the morning, I think, oh yeah, Mama Sushi used to pull espresso, and I have a welcome back, Chloe. Yeah, I drop 10, essentially 10 wash hours every single day, you know, and then in August I'm going to lose, I think, 250 hours. But we're going to do Tools of Fortune a stream tonight, probably for like an hour, maybe not too much longer than that. Put these other colors in here. anyways. Okay, at the falls. Yeah, but the Starbucks they wouldn't use they wouldn't use that Silver Falls brand of coffee, would they? Or so, you know. Let's take this Prussian blue here and put it in this thing here. Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah, I will. I will be. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So I'm going to put in some of this Payne's gray and put it here. And we'll move a little of this Payne's gray around the edge of the eyeball here. So it's got this big giant eye. It's like the ISR on. The ISR on, yeah. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit more, some of this darker color, burnt umber in there. There we go. It's a little bit. There we go. Okay, let's see what else we're going to do here. We'll come in over here, work on this. All right. Not perfect. Oh, your baby walked today. That's cool. So, Mama Sushi, my sister had 6 children under the age of 6, and her youngest kids are now like 25, and the oldest is 34. Mm-hmm. So you're 34. Oh, so there you go. Yeah. Yeah, you're like old enough to be my kid if I had children. All right, let's go move to a different one. You got lots of godchildren? Yeah. Let's see if we do this without spilling any water or anything. I'm going to move the camera around a little bit here. So that's how much light I have. And if I turn the camera around this other way, it's going to be really tight in here, but we'll go in really tight because the camera's like on a control arm. Yeah. There it is. I got a light, got a camera light. I'm using that tripod to hold the, yeah. I can't really say the same, but I know that's kind of I'm not really that, I'm a typical male, aren't I? And all right, there we go. Let's go turn this thing around back down here and we'll figure out something here. Something new here. Gonna do something new. I don't know what we're gonna do here. I don't know. I need like a tray or something to do. Set this thing up. Get the water out of the way and nothing. The water can't spill on anything that's of value or something like that. I think we'll just do like got that tree in front of us here. All right, we'll use this. It's kind of a something freehand. Mm-hmm. All right, I'll be here. I'll be here at least until the light burns out. Yeah, it's just gonna be a tree. Nothing too fancy. A lot of this is just because we're testing out new equipment and so forth. Do stuff freehand and it loosely looks like the tree in front of me. Loosely. Loosely. Happy little trees, you got it. Happy little trees. Happy trees. Let's put the trunk in here. It's kind of textured out. Oh, only yeah. Well, Bob Ross is like totally awesome. I watch Bob Ross. I love Bob Ross's paintings and so forth. But I've watched other people. Uh, I've watched other people live stream art before, but I think that it works best if you're looking in really close. Yeah. Um, you know, the way I'm looking at it here, Chloe, is that there's a lot of people who live stream gameplay and stuff like that. I just don't see that this isn't much it's any different than, let's say, watching somebody do like some kind of an action adventure game. And so yeah. Granted, I'm sure that for a lot of people, that action adventure game is more exciting to watch than somebody painting some random object. I don't really know that I haven't watched people live stream games before. I've seen, because those games actually don't interest me, but there is some guy that I've watched his gameplay content before where he talks about his experiences as a drug user while and then against the narration of the gameplay, and he's got some funny stories in there. I'm not really I never really I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate to be a person who never used hard drugs or anything like that, other than like anything that wasn't illegal. I never use anything. Watch people create stuff with their hands, yeah. And so you had, so yeah, I'm thinking that this arm is going to work. I think it'll work even better, Chloe, when to do tarot content. I know before, like especially using those mini decks. This is actually kind of nice. The colorations of it and so forth. Maybe just a little bit more of. Oh, here we go. We'll just take this out here. Been meaning to get into painting, yeah. Well, you just choose something and just do it. I think Mike just got locked out. Oh. Okay, hopefully the front door is not locked too. I know painting houses is not the same. I need to do some work on my house. They were painted. I think in 2021. I think, and the whole south wall of the house needs it needs another coat or something like that. It's like the something showing through is not good, and I'll have to get some more paint. I'll have to do it by hand, but hmm. Oh, Todd, it's all a matter of a personal preference for you. I started with acrylic paints, and I just started doing watercolors. Um, just actually in January. I just started in January, and so it's not. That's just that's all. I just really just recently started, and I think because I do a whole lot of painting for this channel, Todd, I I probably wouldn't have expanded into watercolor at all if I didn't start doing painting content on this channel. I'm going to put in a little blue here, layer that in there. And so I would probably, it all depends on what it is you want. What do you want to do with your painting, and what is your ultimate goals? If it's just like to relax and have fun and do something like that, you might consider um, you could, if you like oil paints, I would really consider just doing acrylics, because you can use, when you advance your technique a little bit more, you can go to golden products and add glazing fluids and other products to your into your paints, and you can make your acrylic paints mimic oil painting. And so I find that acrylic paints are highly versatile. It's an extremely versatile medium to use. And so if you thin your paints down, you can mimic like watercolor with it. Now it's not exactly the same. So you could, let's say you would use fluid acrylics. You go in there, and I think the fluid acrylics, it really is like the golden products, I think, is the only one that sells the fluid acrylics. And then they're and then you can water them down a little bit more, and then you can use them like watercolors. And so that's originally why I chose to do okay. Then I would recommend, then, if you're doing drawing already, I would just recommend you going into acrylics. And so you have a choice to make, Todd. So I'm gonna just turn the camera around here. It's gonna be really tight. So you have a choice. You have a choice to make, Todd, and that choice is depending on what your intent is to do with your art. So if you want to like go to art fairs and sell your art and do those kind of things, then I would skip over the student grade paints at all. So if you think that you're gonna do a lot of work, and that you're not gonna like get bored with it and quit, then I would go and just skip over the student grade paints and go directly into the professional grade paints, and use your glazing fluids, your learn how to use, the glazing fluids, the gel mediums, and go. Don't buy the heavy body paints unless it's like you're if you're using like your primary colors, like red, yellow, and blue into the primaries. But you could just skip all. You could just pretty, and then you could just buy a whole set of paints. Like some like your Zilron Crimson, your yellow ochre, and then maybe you go with a semi-transparent black, like bone black, and a lot of the some other shades, and just use those and uh, and go directly into professional grade paints. You can do that, but there's an investment in that, and you have to think about, because those paints are pretty expensive, and if you go to the level of paying for the professional grade paints, you want to make sure that if you think you're gonna take your art up to a next level, like to going to art fairs or maybe selling at a flea market or something like that. And so it going into and then in doing it in that fashion, it will be well worth your money if that is what you want your eventual outcome to be. But if you're not really interested in that, then I would just start with the student grade paints like Amsterdam series. That's a really good series of paints, and just start with primary colors. Just start with 5 colors with your white, your black, a primary blue, a primary yellow, and a primary red, and then just mix all the other colors right out of that, and then and get yourself some brushes. I would I'd actually would if doing that I would actually get like some liner brushes, some watercolor brushes, and something like that, and then just learn how to paint really thin. Learn how to paint really thin. Anyways, I hope that helps. Let's go turn this around. We'll look back out there. Okay, so what drives my art desire from these? Yeah, I don't do portraits and stuff like that because I don't have those fine motor skill things in the drawing. I do not have that. But my what drives me is has always been wanting to make a living as an artist of one fashion or another. I wrote poetry for, I think the first art that I really kind of gain a small level of mastery at was was writing poetry and doing spoken word performing. I started writing poetry in like 87, I think it was. I was like at 19 years old in 87, and then I didn't feel like and I kept writing almost pretty much close to almost daily up until like 2010, and I still write a little bit here and there, but there were some years that I didn't write too much, but so I developed I put those 10,000 hours in with poetry, and then I also put in the time with with taking pictures and photography and stuff like that. And I didn't start painting until uh, 2015, 2016. And but I have sold poetry books and things like that. Most a lot of times it was self-published stuff or stuff that books that I made, and then I would go to like open mics and things like that, and just sell my poetry, just people who are willing to buy it. I haven't made a whole lot of money as an artist, but I've certainly have made more money as a painter than I ever did as a poet. I can tell that's the absolute truth about that and but yeah, so it's just a matter of what your intent is, what you want to do. And so if you want to do portraits and then paint portraits, I would just consider, yeah, you have a choice to make. You have a choice. Do you want to start with the student grade paints, or do you want to just start in using those pro grade paints? But if you haven't like developed the eye hand coordination for using the brush and using your brush technique and everything else, you might just be wise to start with the student grade paints. And like I said, just start with those 5 colors of white, black, red, blue, and yellow, and paint mostly on paper and stuff like that. But let's just go back to my drawing here. All right. All right, here we go. We're going to work a little bit more on this. It's now dark. now dark. Yeah. Well, let's just take some of this red. Let's put the red in here too. Just some different colors. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be fall soon. It just was got to be summer, and now the summer's just moving on so fast. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's my little tree. Mm-hmm. There we go. Layer in this yellow. I'll put that in here. It's a nice night out. Now I'm truly painting in the dark, pretty much. Yeah, it has gone fast. But it kind of started early. I mean, the ground's pretty dried out by the gardens getting going on there, and maybe we'll put like a yellowish back in a background. I kind of like that. We'll just do that. I'm gonna put this back in here and see a bit of the yellow through the. It's all full of light and so forth. And that yellow I have is that really. What color yellow is that? It's almost gone. The permanent yellow, which is like my favorite of these colors in here. Mm-hmm. A different shade of yellow. Oh yeah, I like cooked down some cherries tonight for my cherry tree. Instead of like putting it in a pie, I decided to skip the pie part and just cook it down like it was pie filling, but have a dessert without the crust. Mm-hmm. Get a little bleed over. Mm-hmm. There we go. This is one of the things I do like about watercolor is painting the background in last. Just like such a different reversal in having your own fruits. Yeah, I still got quite a few left to pit. I should, maybe I can I was still doing ASMR content, sitting down with a bunch of cherries to pick would make good ASMR content. But I think that most people who watch the ASMR content are consuming it because the person who's doing the ASMR stuff is easy on the eyes to look at. I know, does that make any sense? Looks like a tree you find in heaven. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I'll darken that up a little darker yellow as we get closer to the ground. Kind of a blending of those things. A little bit of that over here. And go back in here and see the yellow clear through in different places. This is fun. It's relaxing. It's a really relaxing process. Keeps quiet, huh? Yeah. Well, do 42 minutes on so far in the live stream, and then we'll just maybe I'll adjust my camera arm thing and pull it back a ways. Yeah, that was some pretty good stuff. Is that digital art? Was that your medium you're using, or? Yeah, you're like that. There was that one figure you did. It reminded me of a fantasy novel. The Michael Moorcock wrote the Elric of Melniboné and series. I've read all of those novels when I was a kid. I haven't read fantasy since I was a kid, but there we go. You use a tablet, yeah. Yeah, I haven't really been that successful with digital art. I haven't really tried either, so not for a long time anyway. Well, let's do a little bit more on the ground. We'll put a little more some red in the ground. Mm-hmm. 34. I remember when I was 34. That was right around the time that I spotted my first gray hair. I think I was 30. Yeah, I think I was 35 though. When I spotted my first gray hair, and then I also was cast in King Lear. Oh, okay, a poem about your baby, yeah. Hmm. There we go. So it looks something like that pear tree that's in front of me. I mean, got the things here and back a little bit of a, maybe another limb that's kind of coming off of here. Baby Saja, welcome. Welcome. Welcome to the Tuesday night stream. Watercolors After Dark. Oh, I kind of mangled that one. I'm getting hungry again. Oh crap, I forgot to take my diabetic pills. I'm gonna do that here. Getting older. Getting older. That's what's happening. I'm getting old now. With that yellow run on there, maybe it'll dry up nice and orangey or something like that. Oh, you weren't here last time? Well, I was on like for 3.5 hours last night. I've forgotten how exhausting that long of a painting session is. It's, yeah, I actually, I did. I had a good time. Having a good time now. This is pretty relaxing. A little more Robolocks. Okay. I was mentioning that what I'm doing here is not that much different than a person who's live streaming gameplay. You can put in some more layers here. I don't know what Roblox is. I just know it's a game. That's all I know about it. Is it something like Minecraft? I think I know what Minecraft is. Oh, it's 6%. I'm going to be done here just a second. Come in and get this blue. Well, let me see. What is it about the paper that I don't like is how the color is running around. It doesn't quite stay put. I like it in the color stays put. I'd probably get better paper. Better paper if I want the color to stay put. Gonna run this in here. Look like you can see the trunk up the tree. All these different layers of color. I'll put this down in here too. A little bit of this in here. Thank you, Todd. Well, we're just kind of doing is all we're doing. I think it's just about done. There's just a couple other spots where I saw. Maybe I'll change to this other brush. To go into these little holes here. To put the yellow in here so it's like you can see the sky through the foliage. Just like when you look at a regular tree, you can just see that. You see the sky through the foliage. All right, Saja. Well, I'm gonna be popping off here just a minute. It's getting cold out. Go finish the dishes. I need to hop in the shower before my two. I need to do that. All right. Well, let's see. I think that's what I'm done here. Let's see what I can do about this arm here. If I can move it. Move it over here like this. Move it away from me a little bit. It's got all these joints on it. All right. Over there. All right. A little further away. I've sort of, it's got a clamp on it. And I clamped it onto the chair that I'm sitting on. So it's kind of like when I'm looking at the thing with the camera on there, it's like an old Star Trek episode or something like that. And you got the, your little thing that you're studying the universe with or whatever. Anyways, this is my Tuesday night live stream. And yeah, what time is it? It's 9:50. I got like 30% power on my battery, so anyways, I don't got anything else to report other than that those paintings that I worked on yesterday are starting to turn out pretty well. Give them some more well, I work on, let's see, I'm going to Salem tomorrow. I won't be back till probably like 6 o'clock. I probably will do another I'll probably do another live stream just like this tomorrow night. That's tomorrow night is Wednesday night. Another watercolor, and then Thursday. I'm not going anywhere on Thursday, so I will do a if I can. I want to do a longer daytime one. I might try for another one of those 3-hour long live streams, but instead of like starting at like 7:30 like I did last night, I think I want to start that in the afternoon, like maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon or something like that, and then that way it spaces them out. So if I do another 3-hour live stream on Tools of Fortune, I can do that, and I won't be too wiped out. But anyway, so we got this one here. This is my abstract tree that we did tonight, and then I finished this one here, and finish this one. And so that's all we got. I want to thank everybody for hanging out here with me. Baby Saja, Chloe, Mama Sushi, Todd. Was there someone else that popped in? Let's see if there was somebody else. There was Lewis, and Jimmy Henderson. And that is everyone who popped in. So that's all I got for you guys. Blessings and peace to you. Happy Wednesday tomorrow. Have a great night and sweet dreams if you're able. I know Mama Sushi's not quite able to sleep with that, her child being as young as it is, so probably not very much sleep is happening there. But anyways, that's it. That's it for now. And I'll be back on tomorrow with something else. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. Oh, there went my light. Okay.